Now, you might be thinking that I've showed you a fairly simple building and gone through the commands, but I've promised you that any kind of an industrial structure can be done. So here is a little example of not that complicated, but reasonably complicated structure, where this is a water intake structure, which has been modeled entirely with the commands that I've showed you. As you can see, all the holes in the slabs and the depressions and the anchor bolt cutouts and the covers. And over here, for example, we have a very unique feature in which this part of the concrete, let me just hide this. So you can see that this huge water intake water pipe was there, and this pipe itself became the formwork for the concrete poured around it. And let me hide the, yeah, so you can see on the screen that very complicated things can be done with Comosys very easily. What you see on the screen was hardly took a few days to do as far as the concrete is concerned. And all the commands which I've just showed you went into the detailing of what you're seeing on the screen right now. And once you have the model ready, you can immediately go to the drawings and create your plans and your sections and 3D drawings and whatnot. And from once you're done with that, then you can continue with the rebar detailing. So here is another example of complicated structures. These are examples of the hundreds and thousands of embedded steel which I was talking about. This is a cement plant, and here we see a combination of steel and concrete together. So, I mean, it's pretty clear that Comosys is not limited to the kind of building classical just beams and columns type of structures that we typically show in the webinars just because of time constraints. But anything of this sort, any complicated structure, can easily be modeled within Comosys. Here we are inside the concrete, and as you can see, the rebars have been modeled in 3D, and there's a lot of rebar in there. This is a huge structure, but it's so easily being done, and you can see the beautiful results on the screen. And once you get used to this kind of modeling, and once you get used to 3D modeling of rebars and concrete, you will not look back. You will not want to go back to the classical 2D AutoCAD methods. How about this for complexity? This is the foundation of a continuous casting machine, which is used in steel plants. And this is a huge machine, and all these are points where the machine is sitting on the concrete, and it has to be modeled extremely carefully. As you can see, there are lots of these little stubs coming out, anchor bolt holes, other types of depressions, changes in geometry, all these drainage channels, and what you're seeing is one of the most complicated types of equipment foundations you will ever do. And this was done entirely in Comosys and in record time, much faster than the AutoCAD statistics which we had from the past. And this is truly something to think about. If you can model something like this and put rebar in it and take plans and take sections and get your material lists and your material takeoffs, everything from this model, then there's practically nothing which you can't do. This should suffice to basically convince anyone that whatever they're doing in concrete, however difficult of a structure they're doing in concrete, they should not worry and they should immediately switch to 3D modeling.
And you might be thinking that, show me the drawings which you have extracted from those complicated 3D models. So what you see on the screen is Comosys once again. These are drawings taken from those models, and you can see the quality of the drawings. They're very clean, and they can easily depict or show or put in the form of a 2D drawing any complicated structure which you can model inside Comosys. Here is a sectional view from the same structure which we just saw. And as you can see, it's very clean. It's very the section has been taken properly, and you can obviously modify the points from which you want to take the sections. And once you have the section, you can just go over it extremely quickly with some automatic dimensioning commands, which I will show as well. Here is another section where you can see those inclined drains as well, extending in the Z direction. And here we see them with a shorter depth, with a lesser depth, so we can just see a part of it. As you can see, these are all automatic sections taken from the model, and they really bring down your work. Otherwise, for each section, if you're doing it in AutoCAD, you would have to work half a day to create these sections, and they would still not be accurate. But once you have the 3D model, then the generation of plans and sections is really very easy. Here we see another section from a different area in the in that CCM machine foundation. You can see the quality of the drawing. And this will give you an idea that what we are talking about is not just those simple buildings with beams and columns in which you can produce sections and plans very easily. These are really complicated structures, and they really bring down your man hours tremendously. To make the people at the site understand the concrete better, you can even have 3D sections. You can create sectional views from the 3D model and show them to the people at the site, and they will understand exactly how they need to pour the concrete. Here you see another 3D section. And over here you see several sections taken in the same drawing. Over here you see those hundreds of anchor bolt cutouts, which are very common in equipment foundations, and they've been dimensioned and very cleanly, and you can see how a beautiful drawing like this can really improve your quality, your brand name, and also along with the 3D images and the 3D sections which I just showed you, can really take the level of your company several notches above.